Hi, I'm Fred. Today we're building a witch farm, and this will be a step-by-step tutorial. It's been a while. A witch farm? We're not building a witch farm. The witch farm is like thousands and thousands away. We're building a mud farm. Got you confused there for a second. But yes, this will be a step-by-step tutorial because this is a new design, much more compact, slightly cheaper. All thanks to Modernist 927. There'll be a link to their video in the description. It's a good water filler mud thing. I just expanded it out for the giant block of mud. Now I am chunk aligning this mostly, although it does fall wider than 16 blocks. But the guts of it I want to make sure are all in a chunk just in case. And here's what you'll need. This list will also be in the description. And don't forget you'll need a bunch of dirt for mud. About a shulker at a time this will produce. Actually a little bit more because of the way I have to kind of move around the mud crater. But it'll be a giant cube of mud. You'll also want some scaffolding to climb up to the top of it to break it down. Okay, for the first step you'll need these 7 items. So the first thing we're going to do is go to the back corner and dig out an L shape. What's a little doohickey there? And we use some fairly non-standard blocks so that people don't dig up through our redstone. There are rarely strongholds up in a mountain. Hopefully never, but bug rock. Redstone those. This, and this. That's on 3 ticks. That goes here. And this faces that way. This way, so the face is there. Hi, little face. He looks so worried. And a dispenser, whoops, goes straight up and down. Finally followed by our hopper into the dispenser. For layer 2, you need these 13 items. Let me get that out of the way. So put glass here. Put glass there. Target block there. Dispenser. Hopper into dispenser. Let's put a redstone dot there first, and that way we can just build off of that with our piston. Temporary block there. That there. That there. We turn that on. We put one of our garbage items in there to lock it. And then we can take those back. And then we put water there. Block there. Want to disconnect those signals. The next layer only needs these things. And basically we're just making a little path for our water to go around in. And then this dropper is to make sure that we continuously get dirt so we can just stand there and spam the dirt onto the thing and be good. Now make sure you do not waterlog this hopper. The water goes here. If you waterlog this, you're going to have to start over. Well, not completely, but it's going to wash away some stuff and be ugly. I know I would never do that. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, final thing we need here is all these bottles. Our other stackable items in a chest. A couple chests. And there's a chrysalis off in the distance. So back in this dispenser, we put a water bottle. And this one, we put 7 water bottles. And in this hopper, we put our empty bottles and some junk just to take up the spaces. And that's just where you fill it with dirt to fill this up. So I load this up with dirt. That feeds into the dropper. And then I just hold that and boom. Mud gets made. Now you can stop here and have a great little mud farm that you have to break every 12 blocks. But that's not how we do things around here. No. Around here, we need a few stacks of pistons, some redstone, and some observers, and we go ham. Okay, at this point, just grab the rest of your stuff. Now, starting right here, we put in 12 pistons. Were you counting? I wasn't. 64. Yeah, 64 minus. Yeah. Get out of the way. 12 of your blocks, which makes 13, including this one. Observer goes this way. Redstone line goes over here. The reason we need this target block is to activate this piston and to hold in the water. Can't be a regular block. It doesn't connect. Redstone got broken. And now I realize I forgot my walls. Don't forget your walls, people. Let me throw a wall in front of that. So what happens is the mud gets pushed all the way over here. It gets to this point. It changes the wall. That triggers that, blah, 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 pushes it out. Now, we can't just line up the pistons under here because at that point, the last one will interfere with this or this will interfere with that, and we just don't want random stuff happening. So we push it out an extra one. And so this second spot is where we want our first piston to go. Not that direction, but thank you, Minecraft. I love you too. Okay. Yes, you can remove the med. Yes, I probably should have. So anyway, pistons to there. Yes, it's a very tight squeeze in here, but that's what happens with these farms. And then we dig out. Don't worry if there's a giant cave someone dug out underneath here. We'll replace these blocks. Anyway, we put our not very naturally spawning blocks there first, just so we don't break our redstone, or try to make sure we don't break our redstone. Then we need a bunch of these and this. Start with the wall there. Now this is where it gets a little weird. So I got an observer going there, an observer going there, and an observer going there. And then we need to dig down a couple of blocks. Let's not drop ourselves down. Okay, we're good. Go under here, put an observer there, and you just heard that trigger. And see, it pushed it up. So what happens is that gets pushed over here, that triggers that gets pushed up. Yes, it triggers twice because the way observers work, it doesn't really matter. It was at this point that I realized I needed one more piston. Because when I was counting these out, I forgot this one. So add that to the list. It'll be in the description. Anyway, grab your gross of pistons. And we're going to lay them all out here. Now just 11 more rows all the way up. And there, glorious wall of pistons. Hold on. And there, glorious wall of pistons. And now it's time to create the lines that will power all these pistons. Don't worry, we don't need 400, no wait, 500? Close to 600 observers I think I did the first time, second time. Okay, this is going to be kind of an alternating thing. So we do a line there. Then we redstone it all. Then we go to the end. So we got that, and pop up here, and then we're going to just do this all the way up. Okay, now that that's placed, we got to go down and place our observers. Which, due to the nature of observers in Minecraft and the way we place blocks, is going to be annoying. Okay, we need to get up, but then also over. So up here, we do a temporary block. We do our wall. We break that. So the way we're doing this is one facing, these are all going to face down. So we do 2 in a row. And then we skip one. Every time. Whoops. And so we've got those. So it's 4 with a gap and then 2 on top, and we're going to break out those temporary blocks. And so we need an observer going to each one of these blocks. And while we're doing that, we break these. And so then our little tower stacky thing looks like that. Forgot the redstone dots on all these. That's how you get them to push forward everywhere. And then she is done. That dirt was out here because this does get triggered by all this movement. And so basically to use this, you just walk up here and you just hold down. If you find that the dirt's getting thrown over your head, you can also stand here. Just face the piston head and go. This gets pushed up, and then when this reaches the top, that triggers up there, and this all gets cascaded down and creates a big block of mud for you then to dig out. I recommend efficiency 5 and breaking and mending on your shovel. Silk Tuck optional. And if you wanted to make this a clay farm, you could, put a layer of blocks here, some dripstone all underneath, and they would slowly suck out the water there and turn this into clay. I don't think I'll do that right now. That could be a temporary setup. It could be added in permanently later. Should be fine. Maybe. I don't know. Test it. I wonder what Crystal's is doing. She was looking for redstone because she's going to do a guardian farm. I'm looking forward to that. Keep an eye on her for her video. Thank you for spending your time with me. Hope you enjoyed that. I will catch you all later. I need more dirt.